My F30 BF M40 refused to sign his divorce papers because his ex showed up with a baby bump. My BF and I have been together for a bit over a year now. He was married before and they broke up because my BF wanted children. This was a couple of years ago. Now they have been separated for 2 years and can start the divorce. When I met him, he was honest with me about him wanting children. A dream I shared with him. He hadn't seen or talked to his ex since the separation. We were supposed to get engaged once the divorce is finalized, but they both need to sign the papers or it could drag. I was worried that she wouldn't sign because from what I heard from my BF's family, she was crazy about him and didn't want a divorce. Little did I know that it would come from him. I went with him to her lawyer's office where they would make it final. I wanted to support him. She wasn't what I expected. She wasn't devastated like my BF's family expected. She looked serene, beautiful, lovely, and totally over my BF. She had her hand on her very pregnant belly. She was pleasant to me and she basically knew who I was. She cared so little to even act like she didn't know anything about her soon-to-be exes and his new girlfriend. She admitted that she knew through mutual friends and that she kept following his news. She was happy that he looked happy. My BF was shocked. She asked how he was. Instead of answering her, he started yelling at her and shaking with anger and anguish. He refused to sign the papers and told her he would make her life miserable. She was very distraught, but he told her to stop acting confused. She knew what she did. He left. He even forgot that I was there. He just left. I half apologized, but she said that I didn't need to. She apologized instead. Then her lawyer asked if he could drive her home because he didn't want her driving while shaking. He asked me if I too needed a ride. I said that I could take an Uber, but he insisted. The drive was awkward. I found out that her partner was away on business, and they have been together for almost 2 years. When I got home, I was exhausted. My BF didn't call or text or anything. I called his mom and she said to give him time because he loved me and to be patient because he just needed time. But what time? This was Thursday. Today he came with breakfast and said that he needed time. I asked if he was signing the papers and he said no. Then that he didn't want to talk about it but to trust him that he needed time. In other words, he doesn't want to discuss what happened with me. Edit. Next day. I got her side of the story. I had a long talk with her, and she was crying all the time and saying how sorry she was about what happened. They were together since they were 19 and very early both agreed that they didn't want children. They are both 40. About 4 to 5 years ago, she fell pregnant. He wanted to keep it but she didn't. Their relationship deteriorated rapidly after the abortion. According to her, he was very broken afterwards, and she tried everything to make it work. She loved him and didn't want a separation. He ended the marriage anyway because he said that he couldn't stay together anymore. For her, she too had trauma after the abortion. When she fell pregnant with her new BF, she decided that she couldn't do it again and decided to keep the baby even if the relationship is very new. Her BF seems to be very supportive, but she said that even if he wasn't, she made the choice to keep her baby even if the father didn't want to be a part of it. She seemed very genuine. She said that she was happy that he had moved on and that she thought that I seemed great because she hurt him and he was always a great husband and partner and deserved someone great and amazing like him. I told her that my BF probably thinks that she wanted children, just not with him. She started crying. She said that she wouldn't blame him for thinking that, and that she doesn't know how she would make him believe that it wasn't the case. That when she had the abortion and was regretful, she couldn't burden him with her trauma and tell him that because she didn't want to put more salt to the wound. That her regret came too little too late. I don't know. I feel for her, and for him. I want him to understand that things happen sometimes without it being someone's fault. She didn't reject him as a father to her children. Her experience with her own body is what changed, not her experience with him. Will he understand that and come to me? I love him and I want him to know that I have chosen him. Update 6 days later. I will make my update short. My BF apologized and ended our relationship. He kissed me and told me that he loved me and that I deserved much better than someone like him. He realized that he wasn't ready to move on and bring in an innocent third party to his miss. He needs time to heal before starting something new. Now he just wants to travel and have one-night stands and live a single life. He apologized profusely. We met at the wrong time. He also said something that made me start crying uncontrollably. I felt that he would rather raise someone else's child than start a family with me like we were planning and dreaming. He said he had asked about his ex and her life and her new BF from mutual friends. They haven't been together for long, so there's a chance that the relationship doesn't work. He would then try to reconnect with her. Yes. That's his plan. I almost threw up listening to his wishful thinking. I told him to leave. He apologized again. He has not called or texted since. Relevant comments. Refusing to get divorced because she's pregnant by another man and he wants to raise that baby is wild. You dodged a bullet. Even without the pregnancy, he was going to stay obsessed with her. OP. He apologized to her and signed the paperwork. His mom said that he was just in shock, but he did it. Comment. Did you tell his ex? I feel like this kind of unhinged thinking is something his ex should know about. To protect her and her baby. OP. Yes, I texted her. She called me crying and she apologized for everything. She doesn't seem alarmed by his wishful thoughts.